Right now at 6, cracking down on slow ambulance response times.
We tried the carrot. This is a little bit of the stick.
The six-figure fine one county is now levied against AMR.
Plus, a medical emergency on vacation leaves a local woman in a coma overseas with no way home.
It's all been an absolute nightmare.
Her family's fight to get her back on American soil.
And as the Portland teacher strike stretches on, how some students are finding purpose in serving others.
I like the feeling of helping someone and making people happy.
Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm China Green. Today marks day 8 that students in the Portland public school system have been out of class. The teachers' strike pushing on with the union and the district still far apart on proposals.
So let's get right to Alma McCarty live outside Lincoln High School tonight with an update. Alma.
Yeah, David, China, we just learned within the last couple of minutes that there will be no school tomorrow for PPS students. The district calling that again just moments ago. Mediation did resume this morning, and PPS officials said in certain areas the progress has plateaued and there's still some disagreement on the numbers. We reached out to the union to get their take on negotiations, their perspective on the current state of things. And meantime, we spoke with students about how they're feeling at this point in the strike. On Tuesday, rallies and pickets continued. Portland Public Schools teachers still out of school and still on strike. Students from kindergartners to high school seniors remain out of the classroom too, filling their time while waiting for a deal.
They miss it. They miss their teachers. They miss their classroom. And I would say that some of them were doing math just for fun, which I love.
In Southeast Portland, more than 30 kids played at Selwood Park, participating in a day camp not usually open this time of year. Rachel Leedschool-Glim runs Dance with Joy Studios and reopened it to help out families and back the teachers.
I also just hear that they're confused, right? This is very confusing. We had the pandemic, which was very traumatic for many families, and now we have this. They understand that it's not the teachers that are making the trouble, and I hope other people do too.
Close by, students of all ages laced up skates and rollerblades.
We're going to skate at the Oaks Park skating rink.
The roller rink extending its hours, so kids like Stella and Billy have a place to go. But as fun as this is, they're looking forward to going back.
It's nice to have no school, but I feel like I'm just when's school gonna start? I kind of just want it to start now.
I get bored really easily, so it's kind of hard to have this going on. And I also missed a lot of my friends from school. This is my cat, Birdie.
Across the river,
I'm really happy that this art class is letting kids have something to do.
That's also how several young students say they feel while attending a Paint Your Pet class with the Oregon Society of Artists.
I'm dying. Me and my friends need to get back to school.
I've heard that it's simmering down, and I think we might get back to school, maybe on Wednesday.
For second graders, they have to be a lot together, and I don't like it. I'm fine with a 3-day weekend, but not a whole time of strike. So I feel like it's better for us to just go back to school.
And again, we learned just before 6 p.m. that PPS has canceled school for tomorrow due to the strike. Just something for families to keep in mind. There will be no school on Wednesday. Live in Southwest Portland, Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Thank you, Alma. That'll make day 9 for us there. Stay with us for the latest on the strike. Look for updates on air on KGW.com and streaming on KGW+.
To other headlines this evening, everyone was able to get out of this Northeast Portland apartment building safely when it caught fire this morning. It was reported around 10:30 in a complex on Northeast Sandy Boulevard near 158th. Firefighters were able to put it out quickly, but not before the fire caused extensive damage to the building, as you can see here. No word yet on how many families have been displaced.
Well, also in Northeast Portland, workers at a recycling center punctured an unmarked gas cylinder that wasn't discarded properly, sending hazardous materials into the air. That is according to Portland Fire's hazmat team. This was just before 2 this afternoon at Metro Metals Northwest off Columbia Boulevard. One employee was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Hazmat says the gas was likely chlorine.
Winona County is finding ambulance provider AMR $500,000 for late responses. AMR crews are supposed to get to most life-threatening calls in the county within 8 minutes. A county review in August data found AMR frequently missed that mark, taking 13 minutes or much longer in some cases.
What we've seen instead is that there's been no improvement in response times. In fact, we are seeing AMR expanding into other counties when they're having issues staffing and serving Multnomah County. For me, this was about accountability.
AMR has blamed the issues on a nationwide paramedic shortage and the county's strict ambulance staffing requirements. The county could keep finding AMR each month going forward until it's in compliance.
And a standout University of Oregon student from Portland has earned one of the biggest academic honors in the world. Senior Nayantara Aurora has just been named one of 32 Rhodes Scholars in the U.S. Recipients are awarded a full scholarship to attend graduate school at Oxford. Aurora is the first U of O recipient since 2007 and the only one from a Pac-12 school this year. She's a first-generation Indian American majoring in neuroscience, also fluent in 4 languages and learning 3 more, she says. Aurora will pursue 2 master's degrees at Oxford, one in modeling for global health, the other in international health and tropical medicine. Congratulations to her and her family. Matt?
Wow, that is a big deal. Congratulations indeed. All right, we got clouds moving in from the south. You can see it in a rather gray and stormy, ominous looking time lapse from our camera up at Timberline Lodge, and rain on radar. There it is. It's now north of Eugene, just about to Marion County right now. This is very light rain, scattered showers. This is not going to be the soakers that we saw back in early November yet. It will get wet later on tonight and into tomorrow morning. In fact, I expect rain for the morning commute, so plan accordingly. It should be raining when you go to work or wherever. Sunrise at 7:10 tomorrow. But look, showers and sun breaks midday, and by later in the afternoon, the sky begins to clear tomorrow, and that sets us up for a couple of really spectacular days on Thursday and Friday. It will be a little frosty on Thursday morning, but the east wind kicks in. That'll clear us out. We've just got some really, really good weather coming our way to end the week. We'll get showers again as we go into the weekend, but again, nothing heavy there. So we'll talk more about that. Take a look ahead towards Thanksgiving and the Leonid meteor shower and why it's so special and why we may see it this weekend, guys.
Love you. Thanks, Matt. We'll see you in a few. All right, to some major developing news tonight in the world of college sports. Within the last couple of hours, a judge in Washington ruling in favor of Oregon State and Washington State in a lawsuit over the future of the Pac-12.
Yeah, let's bring in Art Edwards to break down what this means for the 2 remaining Pac-12 schools and the 10 who are on their way out the door. Art?
All right, well, that ruling means that OSU and WSU will be the only 2 voting members of the Pac-12 going forward. The other 10 schools will be permitted in board meetings, but they're not going to be able to vote. The Beavers and the Cougars filed a lawsuit after all the other Pac-12 schools left for other conferences. Now, this is a big deal because there are millions of dollars on the line. U of O and WSU argued that they should be the only ones deciding what happens to the assets of the conference. Those assets could be about $400 million. The preliminary injunction is in place until an appeal is filed in the cases. The University of Washington has already indicated that it will appeal the ruling.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of, a lot to watch. We know you're going to be across the details as this develops. Thank you, Art. Let's get to an update this evening on a Vancouver woman who traveled to Portugal in May to celebrate her retirement and ended up in the hospital in a coma.
Daisy Caballero joins us tonight. Daisy, it's been some 6 months now, and Diana James' family says she's essentially stuck overseas. So what's going on here?
Yeah, Diana and China, China and David, I'm so sorry, a lot of D's here. Yeah, Diana has been in a coma for the last 180 days, and while she has started to open up her eyes, she's still in a coma. It's going to cost the family up to $200,000 to medically fly her back to Washington.
It's a fight I will never give up. To bring her home.
The bond between Megan Kunze and her 71-year-old mother, Diana James of Vancouver, is unbreakable, even halfway around the world.
It's all been an absolute nightmare. Watching your mom like that is very traumatic.
Back in May, Diana suffered a brain bleed that put her into a coma while traveling to Portugal. And after 180 days, she's still there with no word on when she'll be medically flown back home, which will cost between $160,000 to $200,000. something Diana's medical insurance, Humana, has denied paying for 3 different times.
Originally, it was based solely on the fact that she was out of the country, so they didn't have to cover it under Medicare guidelines. However, we have proven with the clinicians' help and with a legal team that it actually started occurring on U.S. soil.
According to Kunze, because her mother is a U.S. citizen, Portugal's medical system is only required to perform life-saving treatment and stabilization of a patient. She has yet to see a neurology specialist or any rehabilitation treatment for her coma disorder.
There are these situations that I've encountered very certain parallels in my experience.
AJ Rowland is medically representing the family on behalf of Connect Health. He's a healthcare executive with a background in special operation medical services.
Really, when you go back and look at this with an analytical eye, and not an eye that is geared towards just entirely denying the claim, but really one that questions the data in front of you, you can see that clearly this is a woman who's at risk.
And to make matters worse, there are plans to move her to a lower quality hospital where a nursing shortage and strike are happening. She's also on her 7th hospital-acquired infection, including pneumonia, which doctors say will just continue to worsen.
We've witnessed unsanitary conditions in the hospital. We've witnessed them not connecting her feeding tube and having it leak all over the floor. We've witnessed her missing meds, missing meals, missing rotations.
I mean, going through so much and so far away from home, I imagine, is what makes it so difficult.
Yeah.
You feel for them. What options do they have now, Daisy?
Yeah, David. Well, Diana's daughter is reaching out to local and state leaders, and Senator Patty Murray's office is actually helping her file a repatriation loan later this week. And the family also has a GoFundMe, which you all can, of course, go to KGW.com in maybe 30 minutes or so, and it will be right there if you can find it in your heart to donate to this family.
All right, Daisy, thank you.